Hello everyone, today I wanted to share my thoughts on Janet Jackson's Damita album with you. If you would like to skip right to my thoughts on the album, I will have a timestamp on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. And now on to a couple quick disclaimers. Number one, this is just my personal opinion and interpretation of the songs. I would love to hear yours down below in the comments. Just keep it respectful, please. Sorry for any background noise or dust particles that may occur throughout this video. I'm going to be reading off my phone as I always do. Everything that I referenced to make this video and mention will be linked down below in the description. Lastly, if I have any notes that I forget to add, check down below. I might have a pinned comment. And let's get into it. The first song that I want to talk about is My Baby featuring Kanye West. So I haven't actually listened to the song because Kanye is on it. Yes, I know that he is involved in terms of some of the production on the album. I will talk about my thoughts on those tracks later. I'm fine with listening to his production work. He is a great producer, I will say. But as far as me listening to a song that he's singing on or rapping on or like has a verse on, I'm just not going to want to do it at this point. And because of that, I'm not going to be including it in my ranking, which is why it's in its own little part right here. And now let's get into my thoughts for the rest of the songs on this album. So for these songs, I have them all in tiers. There's no order in the tier or at all. I'm just reading them in the order that I wrote them down in. So the first tier is going to be the songs that I would personally skip on the album. The first song that I've written down is going to be Strawberry Bounce. I just never really cared for this song too much. I feel like it doesn't really go anywhere sonically, and it's just kind of boring to me to listen to. The Jay-Z sample is irritating, and it just kind of gets on my nerves throughout the entire song as well. And I listened to it. It wasn't as bad as I remembered it being, but it's just not that good of a song in my personal opinion. The next song that I have written down is going to be Just a Little While. This song is just kind of okay. It's kind of there on this album to me. I re-listened to this one, and it definitely was not as bad as I remembered it, I will say, but not one that I care for that much. Kind of just doesn't really fit in with everything on the album, in my personal opinion. I also skipped most of the interludes on this album. Besides the first one, Looking for Love, I think that works nicely as a little intro for the album. I can appreciate that one. The rest of them, I just don't really feel like they were necessary. They don't really add much for me listening to the album, and every single time one of those would come on, I'm like, I would rather listen to another song on the album. So the rest of them are going to be skips for me, but like I said, I really enjoyed the first one. And now on to the great tier. So the first song that I've written down is going to be Island Life. I think that she absolutely ate with this song. It gives very much vacation vibes. It's so relaxing and cozy to listen to. I just love the atmosphere of the track overall. Her vocals are pretty to listen to, and I think that the production on this track is great. The next song that I've written down is going to be Warmth. I think that this is a delightful listen, another sensual track, and she really owns it. I love the production on here, decent vocals too. The last song in this tier is going to be Slow Love. So I think that this is a cute, light track. I really like listening to it. For me, this is a closer on the album. I just really appreciate her vocals, the production, how everything comes together. And so I think that this is the perfect place to end off the album, even though there's a few tracks after it. And now on to the excellent tier. These are songs that I absolutely love. They just miss being my favorite spot a hair. So the first song that I've written down is going to be I Want You. The production on here is brilliant, reminding me of the 50s and 60s, which I absolutely love. Very lush, and just what a treat in terms of that. It contains elements of Close to You by BT Express. I can appreciate how that's incorporated. Lovely vocals from Janet on the track. I love the lyrics too. The next song that I've written down is going to be Like You Don't Love Me. This is a marvelous track to listen to, super catchy. I love Janet's vocals. I can appreciate her vocal delivery there. I think that the production fits very well. The next song that I've written down is going to be Truly. This is a beautiful track to listen to. I love Janet's vocals. They are superb, and I can always appreciate her vocal layering and the harmonies and everything that she does. They are definitely one of my favorite artists to do that for sure. And so this is just always a song that I really appreciate listening to there. I like the lyrics, the production matches everything really nicely on here as well. The next song that I've written down is going to be Moist. So this is right next to Warmth on the track list, another really sensual track, and again, she owns it, does what needs to be done there. Both of those songs are kind of like two sides of the same coin, so they kind of work well next to each other in that regard. And so what I really like about this song is how dynamic it is to listen to. I really like the production, very captivating in terms of that. I love her vocal delivery and just what she does there. That's something that keeps me interested all the way throughout the song. The guitar also particularly stands out to me on this track. The last song in this tier is going to be Spending Time With You. This is a gorgeous song on all fronts. I think that the production on here is absolutely stellar. I love Janet's vocals. I like the lyrics on here too. Just a really smooth track that I always enjoy listening to. Definitely a highlight on the album in my personal opinion. And now on to my favorite songs on this album. So the first song that I've written today is going to be All Night Don't Stop. I love the energy that this track has. I just love the atmosphere that it creates. You listen to it, you want to get up and go dance to it. So I just really appreciate it in that respect. And then I also quite love her vocal delivery, something that is compelling to listen to, and she sounds great on here. Of course, the production on here is just top tier, so I really love what's going on there. I like the lyrics too, and the choreography for the song Eats. I love her footwork. It's just something that is fun to watch. I can really appreciate how clean the choreography is, and just Janet's choreography is always top tier. She has some of the best choreography of all time. So definitely shout out to Janet, the background dancers, and also the choreographers. And at least once a month on Twitter, someone will post a video of her performing this song, and I eat it up every single time. A lot of people don't even have songs that are close to touching this in their discography, and Janet has several songs that are like as much as this one, if not better, and that just shows how amazing her discography is. Just what a discography, what a moment, what a legend. And so yeah, this song is just the banger that keeps on giving. You really do love to see it. The next song that I've written down is going to be Thinking About My Ex. So this is actually my favorite song on the entire album, and essentially on this song she's saying, yes, I know I'm with you, but I'm still not over my past relationship. Whenever we're doing stuff together, I'm still thinking about it. And so just I really like the way that the track was approached, and I think that the songwriting on here is incredible. So definitely shout out to the songwriters in that regard. So I just really love it. And then I also really love her vocal performance on here. Her vocals are magnificent to listen to. It's really a standout for me on this album in terms of that. The bridge is so satisfying to listen to every single time. I never get sick of the bridge. Babyface has amazing production on the song, so definitely shout out to him for being such a great producer, songwriter, and singer as well. And he's just very talented in that regard. And I just think that everything is top form in the song. And this is definitely one of my favorite songs across Janet's entire discography. Every time I think about my top 5 Janet songs, this one is always on the list. And this song tends to be a fan favorite. And whenever people slander this song, it is just something that kind of takes me back a little bit, because I forget that people don't like this song. And I don't know what there is to not like about it. I think everything on the song is great, and so I don't get why people don't like it. But like I said, definitely one of my favorite songs by Janet. I absolutely adore this track. I think that it's phenomenal overall. The next song that I have written down is going to be R&B Junkie. This song is absolutely impeccable to listen to, and it's just something that's really entertaining overall. It has a nice groove, and it's so playful yet fun to listen to, which I really do appreciate about it. Just really like the atmosphere that this song sets. And I just love this track for so many reasons. I think that Janet's vocals on the track are decent. I absolutely love the production, something that is so fascinating and intricate, and that really fits the track as well. And it contains elements from I'm in Love by Evelyn King. I can appreciate how those are incorporated. The next song that I've written down is going to be Damita Joe. This song is absolutely fantastic. It's just one that is really captivating to listen to, and it just pulls me in every single time. And we have the intro Looking for Love, which kind of like sets you up for the album. It's a nice little introduction that kind of like gets you in there. And then you listen to this song and it's like, I'm here, I've arrived, wake up, like it's time to listen to the album. And this song just gets me hyped up every single time listening to it. And whenever I think about tracks that kind of like have that essence, this is one of the ones that I always think of. I love the production on here. I think that it is absolutely immaculate on every single standpoint. It's just something that I'm always drawn listening to. I just think that it fits the track super well. Very cool in terms of that. And just because of the production alone, it had to be in this tier. I mean, come on, one of the best produced tracks on the entire album in my personal opinion. I think that her vocals are good, and I really do like the lyrics on here, and just like the way that she owns it, and her vocal delivery is interesting all the way throughout. And in some of these lyrics, she's saying, do things that I'm that person that you see on TV. There's another side of myself that I want to show. And just what a catchy song overall. I love this one so much. The last song in this tier is going to be Sexhibition. This song is absolutely outstanding to listen to. I really love the production on here. I think that it's stellar. Definitely shout out to Dallas Austin for doing what had to be done in terms of the production there. I think that her vocals are great on this track to listen to. I really love the bridge. That part always really stands out to me. Something that is just super gratifying to listen to every single time. Absolutely love the bridge, never get sick of it. And then I also quite like the lyrics on here. She owns it. Just something that feels so iconic to me to listen to, and it's just always been a highlight on the album for me as well. Before I give my overall thoughts on the album, I figured I would share a little bit of information on Wikipedia in regards to the title and the artwork for the album. So it says, Damita Jo was titled after Jackson's middle name and one of her alternate personas shown on the album, which Jackson described as a tougher version of herself. Jackson previously desired to record an album which was a complete departure from what she is known for and title it after her middle name, but was convinced to use the title for the album by producer Dallas Austin. The title was initially used as self-acceptance, saying, "My mother made up Damita. I presumed Joe was for Joseph, my father, even though I later learned it wasn't. Because he was emotionally withdrawn, I was never comfortable using it. For years I didn't. Now I love being called Joe. I've come to the point where I'm trying to accept, even embrace everything that has happened to me. I believe that without acceptance, there's no serenity." Jackson appears topless on the album's cover, visually representing the album's intimate and sensual theme. Jackson's representative commented, "She just wanted a simple and youthful picture that she felt people would like. It's beautiful, soft, so far fans love it," adding, "Websites have been going crazy." The cover was shot by Alec McPherson. And now I wanted to share my overall thoughts on this album with you. So I think that this is one of her best albums. I love it very much. It's in heavy rotation for me whenever it comes to choosing an album to listen to from her. And this is just very fun overall. I think that the production on here is stellar. I love the songwriting on here. I think that her vocal performances are beautiful to listen to. As I said before, I really appreciate her vocal layering and the background harmonies and just everything that she's doing all the way throughout there. I really appreciate singers who take the time to do that in the studio because it really fills out a song, and she's one of my favorites in that regard, so I really appreciate that about this record. And then I also think that this album sits pretty comfortably with her discography. I also think that this is a perfect album to listen to in the spring and the summertime. Just really fits those seasons well, though I really enjoy it all the way throughout the year. And it's a shame that this album didn't really get the promotional push that it deserved due to everything that happened with the Super Bowl, and this kind of led her being blacklisted and not being played on some radio stations and all that kind of stuff, which is really a shame. It really was not that big of a deal, so that's unfortunate in itself, but I still do love the album overall, I will say. I wanted to add that Janet looked incredible during this era. I will have some of my favorite photos on the screen right now, and probably one of my favorite eras from her in that regard. Just some really good choices. And like I said earlier, it's kind of unfortunate how everything went down with the Super Bowl and how it affected her career and everything, of course. And this era just deserved so much more than it actually got, but it is what it is in that regard. And I'm really glad that I'm finally making a video on this album. Every single time I post my Topster, this album is normally in, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm really glad you have Damita Jo on there." And I've been asked a few times to make a video on it, which I knew I was going to do, so glad to be doing this video today. And that's going to be my general thoughts on the Damita Jo album. I would love to know what you guys are thinking down below in the comments. What are your favorite songs, memories with the album, any important information that would add a lot to the conversation? Leave them down in the comments because I'd absolutely love to read them. If you wanted to see more videos on Janet Jackson, I will have a card on the screen right here to where you guys can go to. It just shows everything I've done at this point. It'll also be at the end of this video and linked down below in the description, of course. Before I close out the video, I wanted to talk about comments I've been getting asking me to rank Janet's discography and why I haven't done it yet, and kind of like my plans for the future in that regard. So basically, the reason why I haven't ranked her discography yet is because I feel like I will finally do the video, post it, everyone's gonna watch it, and then she's gonna announce Black Diamond and my video will be obsolete, irrelevant, and then I'm gonna want to take it down and record it again. And so I just don't want that to happen, and I've just been trying to give her more and more time because I feel like we're so close to an album announcement and we still haven't got it yet. So that's in short why I haven't done the video yet and everything, and it's definitely a video that I'm looking forward to doing at some point. Janet is one of my favorite artists ever. I think that it would be a really fun video to do. And I saw this little post on Twitter, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it, but it was something about an album, and it was like some picture. It's like really hard to describe. I don't think I'm describing it right, but that kind of gave me a little bit of hope, like maybe she's working on a new album or maybe she is reworking Black Diamond. So part of me just wants to wait until we get an album announcement, however long that takes, and then part of me is like, you know what, I should just go ahead and record the video. So if I record the video, I would still probably wait until like after the first 2 weeks of November. I feel like if she's gonna announce an album, that would be a great time frame to announce it and everything, and just to get us ready. And then if she hasn't announced the album or anything, then I would go ahead and record the video, and I feel like that would be a good time frame and everything. That's kind of what I'm thinking in that regard. regard, I don't really know. Like, I just want to keep giving her time because I swear we are so close to an album announcement. And so yeah, that's essentially why I haven't done it yet and everything. But like I said, at some point I will definitely get around to making albums. I know that a few of you would definitely like to see that video, so I don't know, maybe I should do a poll and just ask you guys, like, should I rank it now? Should I wait a little bit longer? Regardless of whatever I decide to do, I'm still going to wait till after the first 2 weeks in November because I feel like that's a really good time frame for everything. But that's kind of my thought process there and like my future plans, and just wanted to address it because I've been asked multiple times. We will have to see what happens there, but I figured I would address it for those who are curious. And with that being said, that is going to be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. It helps me out a lot in the YouTube algorithm. I very much appreciate it. You can subscribe right down below if you want to see more videos like this. If you hit the bell, you get a notification to your phone when I post, so you not miss when new videos come out. First link down below in the description will be my second channel. So I just posted a vinyl haul in there. I've been talking about this vinyl haul for like a few months at least, and I finally got around to doing it, and I just posted it. So if you want to see the new records that I got, definitely check me out on the second channel. Again, it'll be the first link down below. I'm also going to have my Twitter, my Instagram, my Spotify if you would like to follow me. Links to listen to this album if you have not already, as well as links to educate you guys on important situations, and of course all the videos I've done on Janet so far. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.